G'day everyone, welcome back to another weekly SuperCoach and Fantasy review on the channel. Going to be reviewing my round 7 teams. And yeah, tough week. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have copped some nasty scores and some nasty injuries left, right and centre. And I've copped a few, unfortunately, in both formats. We'll start off with Fantasy. Hopefully you lot went well this week. But as for me, yeah, not too great. Round 7 in Fantasy, we did get ourselves a 2016. And we've dropped around 600 spots, so sitting outside the top 10k now, which, yeah, pretty frustrating. I was sitting nicely around 5,000th a few weeks ago, but we just keep on dropping. The biggest problems with my team is now the trading of Roll Marshall has turned out to be an absolutely terrible decision. Let me just zoom this in. There we go. We traded him to Grundy. He was good on debut for us with a 130 something against GWS, but he was hobbling around. His knee didn't look great. He's not 100%. Ross Lyon said it's going to be a struggle for him to get up this week. So, geez, don't want him out because then when you look, also ROZEE's out with a hamstring. So, yeah, a few problems with the teams, but we wanted to still try and get rookies off field. That's the most important thing. We held cash this week because our trades were the following of Zach Williams out for Garcia and Sanders out for Jack Macrae. Now, I was so close from going with Jordan Sweet, and I'm like, nah, I'll go with the pack with Garcia. And going and being a sheep does hurt me in the end, as Garcia did struggle a bit. Hopefully he plays, continues to play, but he only got like, what, a 40-something, yeah. So disappointing. Macrae's a good enough trade in. There's not really much else for forwards. He has around 15 buy. He got a 90 for us, so yeah, hopefully he can just try and get a few more CVAs and his body stays good. Okay, so through the team now, Nick Dacos, he's averaging under 100 this year. We all thought he'd be going nuts this year off the back of just such a sublime 2023, but just isn't to be. His SuperCoach is going much better. He was impactful after quarter time and was up there for probably one of the best players for Collingwood for sure on Anzac Day. Harry Sheezel continues just to dominate with his high statistics of just racking up the football. Hayden Young got a ton. Again, I'm just seeing more and more of him involved in transition. He gets more marks. He tackles well. And yeah, he was, I thought, a pretty influential player on Saturday night with their win over the Bulldogs. Elliot Yeo started like a house on fire, but sort of burnt out. And that's what it is with Yeo. It is, I'm afraid, low tog and probably is unable to, finish off games as strong as other players because, you still probably question his durability. He's yet to obviously get injured, but we're still attacking contests really well. I thought him in and under was fantastic. He just wasn't able to accumulate as much. And then, yeah, so we took the 𝐓𝐡𝐞 on Wednesday night. We originally were going to play Zach Williams here, but thank goodness 𝐷ambrosio was rested, so we could edit the trade, bring him in, and take 𝐓𝐻's score. So 𝐷ambrosio will be out for us this week. Seemed close. He got a 59. There was a bit of wet throughout the second half in that Gold Coast and Eagles game, but it wasn't really a game for the wingers. They didn't really get involved too much. You take a 60-odd from 𝐓𝐿𝐶𝐶 and move on. And for the midfield now, oh boy, this is where things are a bit concerning. So Connor ROZEE, it's a very frustrating injury. He was going bananas on Friday night. He was probably on track for the medal, to be honest. He was dominating, and then a jump ball right on the boundary. He didn't really have to go and commit for it. Hyperextends his leg, hurts his hamstring. Good thing it's a low-grade hamstring, so he's a test for this week. So if he's out for this week, and if it's only going to be a week, I'll probably still hold him because I've got to get some of these rookies off my team. But yeah, annoying. He was easily on track for probably a 120, 130 plus. He was dominating, but shame to see him go down. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not going to be too long of an outage for ROZEE. Jack Steele, also disappointing. I saw midweek on Twitter that he's was in the talks quite a bit of the medicos, and we saw he had knee strapping, and obviously that's affecting him because, again, we're sort of seeing the scenes from last year. He just doesn't look 100%. He looked slow. He wasn't really accumulating. He was tackling all right, but just wasn't running well. Like, he wasn't getting marks. He wasn't really getting a lot of it. So, yeah, concerning there for Steele. We want him up and about, but yeah, I mean, hopefully he can hold up well with that knee injury because I can't afford to trade out my promos at the moment under a bit of strife. 𝐼𝐴 Miller was good, 109, started off very well, sort of petered out a little bit like he has for me so far this season, but Yeah, he's only got a season high of 110, which is a bit annoying. I'm still hoping for 𝐓𝐿𝐷 with a nice 120 plus, but you have to see it. But no, he was good. The Gold Coast Suns midfield was fantastic today. Nick Martin was very good. He was thrown forward late, but that doesn't really hurt him for fantasy wise. He's still going to be a top 6 defender. Kicked that goal late. Yeah, he's in really good form. Riley Bonner got an 80. I'll take that, to be honest. It was against a hard matchup of Port Adelaide. He's gotten 80 pluses the past few weeks now, so his break-even's probably around the mark. What is it? 89, yeah. But I'll just keep him for scoring potential because they have North and Hawthorn the next 2 weeks, and he could really go off. So I'll keep him for now. Matt Roberts was good. Got some marks late and got involved in the second half. Got another 80-plus score. Fine rookie for us. 𝐼𝐻𝐿 was really good. And yeah, I'm assuming a handful of people probably would have fielded 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐿 over 𝐻𝐿. But since my team is a bit of a wreck at the moment, I have to field both. So yeah, thank goodness 𝐼𝐻𝐿 was able to supply. Jeez, he's a good tackler. I really like the look of him. Now, Jeremy Sharp. This one was very unfortunate. You know, if you wanted to find a game for someone of unrewarded running, just look at Jeremy Sharp's game. What was his time on ground again? It was like 95. 98%. Like, he was on the ground for pretty much the whole game. He was just running up and down the wings. He was there for a marking option, but, you know, no free play just went to him. He only got 2 marks in the end. So his marks and, you know, getting the ball on the outside is his pretty much main source of scoring. So because of that, he caught a 39. So his break-even 76. Probably time to let him go, but again, I'll probably keep him for one more week because, you know, I'm confident he can put out some 70 pluses if he gets involved. They play the Tigers at the G this week, so he could score well for us. Harvey Gallagher, yeah, disappointing. I could have just gone. This is another issue. Just trading in the wrong rookies by the looks of it. I could have just gotten Harvey Thomas for 100k cheaper, but I went for Gallagher, and he gets a 32. So his time's done with us. His break even is 61, so I can't really keep him. Annoying, you know. I thought his role looked good and he had some good games, but yeah, he's probably hit the wall at the moment as a rookie. He's probably going to be dropped too, so yeah, probably one to get rid of. Harley Reid was rested, and then for the rucks, Max Gawn put the VC on him. Was good, was very good. You know, was taking marks around the ground, was doing well in the hit-outs and finished strong. So we love to see that from the big Gawnster. And yeah, was just dominating in clearances too. And Rowan Marshall, this man has sort of ruined my. Oh, look, I don't want to be too, you know, don't be a diva and say, oh, my season's done. But he has been a key part for me sliding down the ranks. I just should have kept Grundy, but Grundy got like a 60 today. But I could have gotten him down to like a sweet and just run with him. So yeah, I heard Ross Lyon, as I said before. Apparently Marshall's going to have to do quite a bit of effort to get up this week. So that's a concern. That is a concern. I'll probably have to brick and sweep. But I can't trade him out. I've got to play the long-term game with him. He still should be an R2. But it's annoying, man. Looks like Cherry was the go. Cherry was the go this year. Forwards, Isaac Heaney was fantastic today. 20 disposals, or 21 and 3 goals was really good. Didn't really get many marks or tackles, so hence why he got a sub-ton. But yeah, did his job. Sam Flanders got a 112. Yeah, the seagull role was pretty good. He got a bit more midfield time today, I saw. But, you know, he's just playing such a disgustingly good role at the moment for fantasy points. Tom Powell, another spot fire. Didn't get any midfield time. Really interesting. So Will Phillips got a lot. He was subbed out with a tactical decision. So you'd think Phillips could be dropped this week and Powell goes back in the midfield because, again, I can't really afford to trade out these sort of players. But oh, God, his break-even's 118. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. The last few weeks, he hasn't really looked too great. He's been able to tackle and get a few disposals, but it's just his inside midfield craft has been ordinary. He fumbles a bit and he misses sometimes a few tackles, and his intensity can get thrown out the window a little bit in transition. So there's not much else for forward, so we just have to keep the faith in him. Jack McRae was good, helped out a lot in a lot of chains, uncontested chains, so we liked that. Didn't really get many CBAs. Richards, again, took a lot, so you'd think 𝐿iberatore replaces Richards with the CBAs, and McRae just, goes back to getting some limited CBAs, but again, there's barely any forward options, so we'll just stick fat with McRae. So we take a 90. 𝐼𝙗𝐼𝐴46 decided to field in because, you know, he got like a 60-something against the Cats as a sub, and yeah, didn't really do much. He got a goal late to save his score, but a lot of people had forward carnage this week. And moving on to it, Darcy Wilson, brilliant. I'm happy. I at least fielded this guy, and not fielded like Garcia, which would have hurt me. So I'll definitely take that with Wilson with a 92. As I keep on saying, this guy is building week in, week out on the wing. He's really holding his width nicely. He's getting more marks. He's getting more involved. So, yeah, I really like it. I think I'll continue to field him in my forward line for now. And then Kyle Lohmann, as I say, again, similar to Gallagher. I probably just should have went with Garcia. You know, me trying to be the point of diff, go with the pod. But for goodness sake, Riley, Lohmann is just a small forward practically. So I got sucked into the good-looking scores. But you know, I still like the look of him, but Brisbane just really struggled on Friday night, so I'll take a 54 at least. Aaron Cadman also struggled too, was well beaten in the air. 33's break-evens now, 53, so good look to move him on. And then Garcia, again, annoying. I was also considering Hardiman this week. He probably would have been a better option to go to. Hopefully Garcia continues to play. I mean, he just had a lot of time on the bench. He tackled all right, but just couldn't get his hands on it. And yeah, should have just went sweet. I was tempted to go with him with the solo time, so I might consider him. But that's what the team's looking like. 2016. So some positives, of course, like fielding Wilson and keeping some rookies. 𝐻𝐶 was good, but oh boy, ROZEE injured. Steele's not great. Marshall, the dilemma with him. It's going to be for sure a big next few weeks. So my trades for now. With the possibility of ROZEE going down, I can't mess around. I just need a gun mid. There's a few on the low with Green, Sarong, Dawson, but I'm going to be probably going to be bringing in Tom Green this week. But first off, we're going to be trading out Gallagher. His break-even is really high, so I don't want him leaking cash. If he's dropped, well then we might go with someone else. And then Darcy Jones, I'm going to bring in. I'm also considering Hardiman because I like the look of him, and I think his job security will be good. Jones, I don't know, like, when they bring back in like Toby Green and stuff, will he keep his spot in the side? Will he, you know, be able to kick 2 goals a game? I feel like he could easily pull out a 40. So this is my same thoughts about Harvey Thomas though, and look how that's gone. So maybe I'll just lock in Jones for goodness sake. But I'll just go with him for now as a placeholder, and then D'Ambrosio has to come out after holding him, and I'm going to go Tom Green. So yeah, Green has the Swans this week, and he always plays well against us in the Sydney Derby. So I'll back him in for a good score, and I'm going to put the VC on him. I think he can go really, really well. You know, he got a ton in a pretty bad game performance against the Blues, and then yeah, 127. He was fantastic against the Lions. So I might go with him. Sarong's got the Tigers this week, so the tag risk could be there with maybe Marlon Pickett. And Dawson, and he has Port Adelaide this week. I like him too, but I'll just go with Green because he's 20k cheaper. So yeah, with ROZEE out, most likely I need a gun mid. I'm going to lock in Tom Green. So that's what the trades are going to look like for fantasy. Let's now move across to SuperCoach. So across to SuperCoach now, I'd say I don't have as much carnage as I do in fantasy, but just because I feel like I still don't have enough primos and a few disappointing primo scores itself, I only got myself a 2-2-3-6. So we've moved down 2,500 spots in the season rank, and I felt like it probably is coming, to be honest. I feel like I've overachieved my scoring so far this year. Don't really have as many primos as other teams. So, yeah, I've gone down a bit, but, you know, we're still sitting in the top 5K, still sitting in the top 3%. So let's try and hold ground around that spot. Okay, so the players that we did bring in this week, we brought in Hugo Garcia alongside the fantasy. Also Jack Macrae, and we brought in Sam Walsh because I felt Walsh is going a lot better in SuperCoach, and that's how he is. He's just a better SuperCoach player. And as for who we traded out Ollie Dempsey and also Riley Sanders, and the other player was Zach Williams. So that turned out to be successful trades, at least, because Williams did score less than Howes because I put the E on him and decided to hold D'Ambrosio for the week. And then, yeah, Sanders didn't play. And Ollie Dempsey, oh boy, he was starting like a house on fire. And then got a bit of a niggle, I think, and only finished on like 50 or 60. So, yeah, and we had Reed not playing this week, so that seemed to hurt our scores too. But yeah, going through the line, 𝐻𝐿, again, good, 108. Did play a little bit more midfield, I saw, from the late third term onwards, but still moved higher up the ground and racked up the marks. Luke Ryan was a bit quiet, but still a 106. He's just a gun. I feel like it gets favoured quite a bit by champion data because all I see with him is just chipping the ball around the back. And he gets a ton every week, so I'm happy, I'll take it. Dan Houston was good, 107. Yeah, Paul got a lot of uncontested ball throughout the game against the Saints as expected, and yeah, Houston definitely got a lot of that. Nick Daicos was very good. I feel like Daicos is now starting to reap the reward a little bit of a starting selection for me, even though he still wasn't the play to start in the end. But yeah, Daicos, 128, really influential as the game grew on. Was kicking again really well, picking apart targets nicely, opened the game up. Yeah, Howes 87, happy I held him, so took the E and just kept D'Ambrosio on field. And Sam Closey got a 65. As I said in the fantasy segment, yeah, it just wasn't really a game for wingers, but you still take that, a 65 from a rookie. Midfield, disappointing. So Butters got an 82. Every disposal he got, he started really well, but just every disposal was a turnover. And he just wasn't hitting targets. It was a bit of a down game from him, so yeah, not the week to do it, so let's hope for a bounce back with him. Bontempelli, yeah, geez. He's an odd one to watch. Look, I think he's just the player just to keep the faith in, but yeah, it was weird. Like the last 10 minutes, he wasn't really on the field. He was just left on the bench, so that did hurt his scoring. You know, it was during the scaling when it was a close game. There was points to be achieved there, but Bont wasn't part of the action. Yeah, just isn't as good as he was last year by the looks of it. He has some great moments, but yeah, it just doesn't look like he's absolutely 100%. Maybe he's still got that ankle problem going, but you know what's his scores been the last few weeks? Yeah, 125, 73, 102, so he's not at the absolute peak of his powers at the moment. Sam Walsh, I traded him in just because I think he's a better SuperCoach player. I just wanted to get on him because I felt like I was now or never last week with him playing his third game in the first price change. So 104, yeah, just didn't really get amongst it too much with score involvements and everything, I felt. Did fade out throughout the game a little bit, but yeah, let's just hope he churns out some consistent scores. Still disappointing with 70. Again, just doesn't really look 100%. So I am hoping he will just be able to bounce back. Tuke Miller, definitely one of my positives this week. Brilliant game he had. The Gold Coast mids just feasted on West Coast and yeah, had a day out. Got a lot of contested possessions. Was really good by foot. And yeah, we love to see that for sure with big old Tuke. So yeah, he's going well in SuperCoach. Matty Roberts with a nice 80, so a good rookie option to keep on fielding. Rolly Bonner was disappointing. He lost about 10 points because he turned the ball over, even though it was a kick to a contest and that turned into a goal, so scaling did not do him good there. Do I trade him out? I could do. His break-even's only 76, so he's okay to hold given that there's good matchups for the Saints the next fortnight. And Clay Hall as a DNP, and I took Wilson's emergency score, which is good. Graham was very good too, tackling at Garcia 40. Gawn took the VC with him, was great around the ground on Wednesday night. And Grundy, yeah, a little bit disappointing. He wasn't really getting around the ground as much. He spent a lot of time on the bench. I don't know why that was the case. Hopefully he isn't carrying something, but just probably load management. McLean got a lot of the hit out, got a lot of ruck work. So I think a lot of people are going to be considering trading Grundy down to Sweet. I'm a bit skeptical because Sweet was battling against Royal Marshall basically on one leg. And Sweet has O'Brien this week. So don't get me wrong, Sweet's an absolute a must in this week. But do you put him at R2? That's going to be the question. Isaac Heaney was great, 120. So yeah, SuperCoach scored much better because he kicked the 3 goals. Flanders, he's going by foot a bit iffy as of late. He's turning the ball over a bit too much and he's getting negative scores, negative ratios compared to fantasy. You got a 105 though, so still good enough. Jack McRae only got a 79. He started off really poorly because every kick was just not great. He was not going well by foot. But sort of was able to bounce back and get to a respectable 80-odd score. Tom Powell, again, this is similar to the fantasy segment, as I said before, an issue with that lack of midfield time. So I'll probably give him another week and hopefully he can get back into the midfield centre bounce rotations. Sam Darcy was fantastic. And again, similar to Bont, frustrating because he was on the bench for a majority of the last 10 minutes of the final quarter. He really could have won the game whilst there was points to be won with the scaling. So still taking 88 though, you'll have to see it. Yeah, just so good in the air. That tall frame of his, bloody beautiful. Biggie Newen, I decided to field Biggie Newen because I felt, he got an 80 before, so you never know, he could turn into an intercepting freak on Saturday, and just didn't really get much of it. He was very hot and cold, he had some good moments, and then, he had like a fumble with a bouncing ball and conceded a goal from it. So, yeah, a bit of up and down with him, but at least we got a price change out of him. Harley Reid got rested, and Cadman with a 53. And what's his break even? 52. So, look, I think we could say so long to him, perhaps. So, got 25 trades left. We've got 2 boosts left. I want to still try and keep those boosts as much as we can. I'll keep the faith in Bonner this week. They have North Melbourne, so he could get a lot of uncontested ball. So, the first trader is easily Massimo D'Ambrosio. Held him because I wanted to take Howes' score. So, first off, the rookie this week is an absolute non-negotiable must-in, and that is most definitely, of course, Jordan Sweet. So, we'll move Roberts to defence, and then we'll put... we'll move Reid to the midfield, and then... and then we'll put Livingston to the forward line. There we go. Sorry, just had a bit of a brain fade there. And then, we'll get in Jordan Sweet. As I say again, do you put him as R2? I think you can if you want, but I'm a bit sceptical, though, just because, he was beating Marshall around the ground just because Marshall just didn't look 100%. He was basically hobbling on the one leg. So, still, though, he's a must-have, so we'll just put him in for now. I'll keep the faith in Grundy, though. I might be a little bit up and down. Still got an 83. It wasn't like he got a 40 or a 50. Sweet though is a non-negotiable must-in. And the play to trade out. Again, we could go Bonner, but I don't think I can afford it. He's got good scoring potential this week, perhaps. So instead, we'll be trading out Cadman. And then we will put Reid back into the forward line. And we'll get in a gun mid this week. For me, it's either going to be Tom Green or Jordan Dawson. I'm still liking Green just because of the matchup this week. He's 5.79k. I feel like it's a really good price for Tom Green. Round 3 average is 104 at the moment, but as you can see here, he did get himself a 159. So, as I say again in the fantasy segment, he usually has good games against us in the Sydney Derby. So, I'll go with Green for my trade. So, that only cost me 2 trades. I say the boost. Maybe I could boost to maybe bring in a Jake Rogers. Sorry, what's his name? Jake Rogers, isn't it? Yeah, Jake Rogers, that's right. He looked really good. He had like 4 goal assists. I could maybe boost to bring in another rookie. But that's probably what we're going to look like for the round. So, we'll hold Bonner. Hopefully he scores well. But, bring in a gun of Green. And then, we'll obviously field Reid. Sorry, and that's what it looks like. I think Darcy and Reid are good enough to field for now. Darcy's averaging 77. Reid's going at 90. I think that's good enough for now. SuperCoach is a lot better for forward options, unlike Fantasy. So, that's probably what we are going to be doing for SuperCoach trades heading into round 8. Okay, now let's have a look at my roles, Macca, Fantasy and SuperCoach League leaderboard updates. We'll start with SuperCoach. The highest ranked player is Terrell's Hacks. 173rd overall. How about that? Good on you, son. Hopefully you can keep on pushing up the ranks. Having a look at his team, he got a 24.73, so massive scores for him. Midfield was just much better than mine. I had like a 66 here with Bonner, 70 with Steele did hurt. I also had Grundy too, but Fife's a big miss for me this year. He looks really good, but he's averaging the same as Harley Reid, so not the end of the world. But I had Reid on the bench. He brought in Garcia. That's not bad. Apparently, though, I heard 𝐼𝐵𝐿𝐼, if he was in, Garcia's going to be the sub. So, no, you take that, though, with him. And then, Darcy did well. I probably should have started him in SuperCoach, too. He's going much better in SuperCoach than he is Fantasy. With all those contest possessions he's getting. That defence looks very good. Nick Martin, shame I tried him out, but that's looking like a really solid team. And it was a very up and down week for SuperCoach. We either scored very high, very low. Steady, though, or Eddie, got a 25-8. Massive score. He brought in Bailey Dale this week, so he reaped the rewards of a massive score. Richards in the midfield's definitely freed him up. Lachie Whitfield was very efficient, 125. Dawson was good. I'm assuming he traded him in this week. Probably could send off Sharp now. Harvey Thomas, that's a good rookie to have. Cherry too. Cherry and Gorn's probably the best ruck combo at the moment for SuperCoach and Fantasy. 5 very big too. Reid on the bench. Again, pretty solid side. And now a quick look at my fantasy leagues. Fortunately, Fantasy Prodigy's dropped down a bit. You hate to see that he's dropped down to outside the top 1,000, but we have a new leader of Team Rioli. He's currently coming 13th and 19th overall. And for this week, he got himself a 2093. Let me just move this so you can actually see better. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, 2093. We go to round 7. Let's have a look. So, yeah, he took Houses 80, Reed, nice loop. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐝. Cherry wasn't as good as he usually was, but fielded Wilson, that's good. A lot of carnage in the forward line. He's not alone, though. A lot of people had it. Jordan Clark. Chapman, I feel like killed him a little bit from half-back into Martin, good. Yeah, his midfielders were again a little bit up and down, but he'll take a 102 from Walsh and 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐝. Very, very good decision. That could pay off for the next few weeks. So hopefully, for 𝐼𝐶𝐷𝐾𝐠ake, he can continue to rise up the ranks. So everyone, there is my Fantasy and SuperCoach round review for round 7. Hopefully, as I say again, you lot went better than I did, because I copped a bit of carnage this week. But you know, it's only a game at the end of the day. It's all about having fun, and yeah, hopefully we can start to rise up the ranks together. So yeah, let me know how you lot went down below in the comments. Who are you thinking of trading in this week? I'd love to take some questions too. I mean, I'm no expert, but I'll just give my thoughts. That's pretty much it from me, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you later, folks.